So it says to select discussion questions you feel will help help your group the most. How did Rinaldi get into this mess?
How'd she get into it?
Yeah.
She took a job.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what else other than she accepted the job at Atomic Waters.
All right. And it says, what is the situation?
I think Dylan kind of already said what was
Yeah,
going on.
like lack of trust.
Yeah, it
And
almost seemed in the case study like they were just kind of annoyed by the fact that Rinaldi was there. I mean, every time she went and talked to her manager or her colleague, they always just gave her short little answers to their questions, or just said, shouldn't you be reading something or focusing on something else? So I don't know. It almost sounded like they didn't want to deal with her. They kind of annoyed that she was even there.
yeah.
Part of it that it talked about was Follett was new in the manager position, and so she was a star performer, but I think she was so used to working by herself that she didn't think that she needed to train people. She didn't need to do these other things, and
Yeah.
so she just stepped up into the manager's shoes yet.
hmm Yeah, I thought it was weird too how in the case study they never really like said whether it was true or not, but there were the accusations that the manager and the coworker were having an affair. So it was that. I mean, at least putting myself in Rinaldi's shoes, that'd be just an awkward situation to kind of have that in the back of your mind that my boss and my project manager or a colleague is having an affair and I'm caught in the middle of it, kind of a thing. So I don't know if that added to kind of the way that they were treating her, but that'd just be weird to me.
Yeah, that sounds pretty messy. Um, so the question, what should she do now?
Uh, I don't know. I was kind of torn. Um, I know she said that she was considering leaving, and going back to her other job because she still had friends there, and her boss told her before she left that they hoped she thought of them in the future. Um, but I don't know if she stayed, at her current job. I don't know how long she'd have to wait for things to improve, or if it even would improve. And then she also talked about maybe asking the guy higher up that to ask if she could switch to a different project so that she wouldn't be under her current manager. But I mean, I don't know. I was kind of torn because I didn't really make a decision, but I just said there was a lot of pros and cons to both. I don't know.
Yeah, I talked a lot about how the solution really had to be with Follett more than it had to be with Rinaldi. I think,
hmm
Rinaldi has, if it still continues to be bad, switch teams or leave the company. I mean, those are really her
Yeah,
choices.
yeah,
Because she took this job because this company would have provided her with the best success, and she's not finding it. So,
yeah. Yeah, 'cause I thought it was interesting. I think it said somewhere the pay was almost $15,000 to $20,000 more at the other job, but she took this one because she wanted the training and the experience with a bigger, kind of more well-known company. And I mean, if she's not getting that, I mean, personally, I'd be pretty pissed, if I passed up $15,000 and I'm not even getting the training that I was maybe not promised, but what I expected with this bigger company. So yeah, now that I think about it, I'd probably either leave or I'd ask to be reassigned to a different project. Because I mean, with Follett, I think her name was. It's just there's no progress there.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all that was happening in the case. Then it was just like the struggle between Follett and Rinaldi. So it
hmm
seems like.
yep.
Um, so it says that what is like Follett's behavior now, not instead of what she actually did, what her behavior is like now.
What what's her behavior now? I mean, or how should it change? I'm not sure I understand the question.
It just says guide conversation away from what really happened and focus on her behavior now.
She's a crappy manager.
Yeah.
So it says, so it gives me what happened at the end of the story. So it says that Follett and Vaughn both left shortly, and Rinaldi learned that Follett had been job hunting during Rinaldi's time there, and that Rinaldi had 2 new bosses who admired her work and relied on her. And then she was promoted ahead of schedule. So she stuck it out. And
So she actually stayed, and then the 2 people actually left.
yeah, it looks like Follett left.
Huh.
Good for her. She got promoted ahead of schedule and everything.
Yeah.
And then it says, lessons learned. What did Rinaldi learn about herself? And then it says, what have you learned about yourself and what motivates you at work?
I don't know. I guess kind of from just what the conclusion was to the case. I mean, I guess being patient, sticking through with something, oftentimes you'll get rewarded for it. Maybe not every time, but I've had jobs where, you have a coworker or even a boss that, they're kind of a douche, but
Yeah.
you kind of just put your head down and work anyway, and sometimes good things come from that. Attitudes may change, or you may get a promotion, or I don't know. So yeah, for me, maybe the takeaway is just sometimes it pays to just be patient.
Yeah, I feel like what drives me and when I work is trying to do every task that's assigned me. I don't want to cause any problems or anything. I want to do everything that is expected of me. And I always try and do a little more, try and like impress my managers or try and do something that would stand out. It's just me personally. I mean, other than that, there's really no other things that we really need to talk about. That's pretty much the only questions I had. It's pretty short, but
The case wasn't very long either. I think it was only like maybe 8 pages or so.
yeah, well, I got to use my grace assignment, so didn't even read it. So I mean, I think that's good then for our group. I can post it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's everything on the agenda. I think we're good.
All right. So who's the group leader next week? Is it Brandon?
I think it's back to me next week.
Okay.
So I'll get that set up and send the invites.
All right. Sweet. Well, thanks for the quick meeting.
No problem.
Helps with the schedule. So I'll see you guys next weekend.
That's
All
good.
right, guys. Take care.
See ya.